What I like people to do is to stand in front of a mirror and do their affirmations. Because there's something very powerful about looking in your own eyes and accepting yourself, or noticing that you reject yourself when you're saying something positive about yourself. So that would be a very beginning way to start. Say in the morning, you get up in the morning, you go to the mirror, and this is a big one, and it's hard for lots of people. But you look in the mirror and say, I love you. I really, really love you. And to begin with, that can be so hard for people because they think of all the things that they think are wrong with them. But if you can start your day saying that, it's very powerful. Remember, I'd like to think the universe is listening to everything you say and everything you think and saying, okay, you can get that. So then it starts to bring you in and bring things into you. And I know this sounds far-fetched, but it's amazing how it works. If you do a good general positive statement for yourself, the universe will figure out how to manifest that, how to bring that about in your life. So things could happen that you wouldn't expect at all, but they will happen. If you think of doing your positive affirmations is like planting a seed in the ground. It's not necessarily true at the moment, but it is something you want to have be true. So you put the seed in, and you plant a seed and you expect it to grow. Or you maybe plant 3 seeds just in case. You expect them to grow. And you don't wait for 2 days and then dig in the earth and say, what's happening, what's happening? You expect that thing to grow because you know there's a law and a process. And the seed will grow if it is in the right soil and it has the right amount of moisture. Making it really a habit and doing it every day. Doing something every morning when you wake up, that's a really good time. And another good time is when you go to sleep at night. And gratitude works a lot. Just being grateful for everything. The more, I always say the universe loves gratitude. The more you're grateful for what the good is in your life, the more good you get to be grateful about. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you know, if somebody gives you a present or gives me a present and I say, oh my God, I hate that color and it doesn't fit, and you know, that person will never give me another present. Mm-hmm. But if you say, oh, it's wonderful and thank you, I really adore it, it's great, that person is probably going to want to buy you a present every time they see something they think you would like. And it's like that with the universe. The universe loves gratitude. We're not here to change other people. We are here to change ourselves. That is what we've come to the planet for, to change ourselves. If we try to do it for someone else, or learn their lesson, or make it nice, they don't get to learn it. And even if we fix it, isn't it amazing how they turn around and recreate it again? And we all know people like that. We've paid their rent, or we've gotten them out of some mess, or we've done this for them or that for them, and 2 months later they're in the same problem because it's their pattern. It has nothing to do. Teaching them how to get out of it, it is much better if they're willing to learn. So it's like, you know, the student must come to the teacher, and when the student is ready, the teacher is there always. See, I believe that life is really very simple. What we give out, we get back. And what we believe about ourselves becomes true for us. Our thinking creates our experiences. There is a law of thinking like everything else, like all of nature. There is a universal energy or law of mind or subconscious mind, whatever you want to call it. But to me it means the power that is within me and around me transforms my thoughts into experiences. You see, I believe that we are all responsible for everything in our lives. Every thought we think and every word we speak is creating our experiences, our future. And it's almost as though every time you think a thought or you speak a word, that universal intelligence or energy is listening or responding to what you are thinking or believing or saying, without judgment or criticism. Totally accepting us at our own value. Whatever we choose to believe becomes true is to take a little time to figure out what they are. And I always say a really good exercise is to take a big sheet of paper and write on top of it, say, what I think about men. And then another one, what I think about women. What do I think about money? What do I think about any subject you can think of? And just write all the things that come out of your thoughts. And whether they sound good or not, just write them down. And any one subject, if you just write them all down and then look at them and see how many are positive and how many are negative. And if you can take those negative ones and turn them around, make them into positive affirmations, then you can start clearing up what you believe about, say, money that is not positive for you, and or is keeping you from bringing money in. And you can do that with lots of things in your life, so you can really begin to realize what you do believe about these things. So you can't change your thoughts if you don't know what your thoughts are. There is a law of thinking, and we are beginning to learn about it. And it is like a computer. If you have this gorgeous computer put in front of you, and you don't know what to do with it, it's a piece of junk. But if you learn the language of the computer, miracles happen. And that is what the law of thinking is. When you learn how it works, miracles happen. What you think and what you believe is what will come true for you. Your thoughts create your life. It's that simple. And when we can get that, we can make it. You think for a moment about the vastness of the universe. It is so incredibly big that our human minds cannot comprehend it. It is enormous. And even our top scientists with the most up-to-date equipment today cannot measure the size of the universe. And half of them don't agree on whether it's expanding or contracting. And in this incredible universe, there are so many galaxies that we haven't counted all of them. And in one of the smaller galaxies, in a far-off corner, there is the small galaxy called the Milky Way. In a very far-off corner, there is a minor sun. And around this sun revolve a few pinpoints, one of which is called planet Earth. Now, I find it very, very hard to believe that the incredible intelligence that created this entire universe is an old man sitting on a cloud above the planet Earth watching my genitals with a book. And yet it doesn't compute. It does not compute. And yet how many of us were raised to believe that? And many of us are living it. If you were raised in a religion where you were a sinner and a worm and you had a lot of sexual problems and things like that, start to reevaluate. Do some mental work to change that so that you're not still operating. You can sit down and in front of a mirror would be real good. Look in your eyes and say, okay, now when I was a kid, this is what I was taught. But I'm not a child anymore. Now I am adult and I don't believe that. I now choose to believe, and then decide what you want your belief of God to be like. You see, if you're in a religion that puts you down, or where you are a sinner or a worm or whatever, get another religion. There are plenty of them. They all tell you that they're the only way. I think even our concept of God must support us. And you do not have to have the same concept of God that your parents had or your grandparents had. You don't have to. Each person is a unique individual, and each one of us creates our own lifestyle and our own belief system. And I think we need to constantly reevaluate what we believe, and particularly if we believe things that don't nourish us. Think, why do I believe that? Where did I learn that? Is that really true for me now? Does it make sense? Maybe I could let that one go. You might create a pair of psychic scissors and cut them out of your consciousness. Or create a great big wastebasket and say, okay, that one goes there. And decide that you just do not choose to live under old limitations anymore. Refuse to believe in worry. Begin to trust the universe and watch how it works. I've had many people tell me, well, because of such and such, I can no longer enjoy life. I didn't get invited to the prom or the party, so now I'm going to be miserable for the rest of my life. Or I didn't get the part, or I didn't make the sale, so I'm no good. Or because I'm no longer married, I can't enjoy life ever again. What foolish limitations we create for ourselves. Don't let these beliefs from the past hurt you in the now. Release that emotional attachment. If we live fully in this moment, we cannot be hurt by the past, no matter what it was. If I asked you what you wore in the 3rd grade, you may or may not remember. If you remember, you probably wouldn't have much emotional attachment to it. You would just remember, and that would be it. And that's how we want to be with all our past experiences. Just recognize them and let them go. We go on a spiritual journey, it seems, to be more conscious, and we begin to make conscious choices about life instead of just going on and getting up in the morning and doing our stuff and then going to bed. We begin to make conscious choices of our thoughts and our actions and even the foods we eat and things like that. And it's putting your foot on the pathway one step at a time. And some of us do very devious journeys and we take lots of little side tracks and we don't get very far really. And some of us just are very conscientious about it and go one step after another and go closer to our pathway, which is really, to me, I think enlightenment is letting go of all the things we believe that are not benefiting us in life, or that are barriers to our life, to the good things in life, and to release them one by one and just think, I don't have to believe that anymore, or do I want to believe that anymore? And making a conscious choice. When we can understand that every single thing we believe has been a choice, and it may or may not be true. It can be true for you and not for you, because it's your belief system and your belief system, and then I have my belief system. I say a lot. That may be true for you, it's not true for me. I may not say that out loud, but people are doing things or saying things, and I think that to myself a lot. And also, it has nothing to do with me. Whatever's going, that has nothing to do with me, because I'm under the law of my own consciousness. This is my pathway, and you have your pathway, you have yours, everybody does. So we're all on a journey, and I think the more conscientious we are about it, and the more conscious choices we make, the better our journey is, or the easier, or the swifter, or we get more goodies, or we have better health, all that stuff. I believe that we choose our parents. I think we decide to incarnate upon this planet at particular points in time and space. And we come here because it's like a classroom. We have lessons to learn. You have your lessons and I have my lessons. And so before we come each time, I believe we choose our sex, we choose our color, we choose our country. And then we look around for the perfect set of parents that will mirror the lessons and patterns we came to work on. We choose these people as the perfect mirror for our work. Then most of us, when we grow up, have a tendency to point our fingers at our parents and say, you did it to me, it's all your fault. But really, if we're all responsible for everything in our lives, then there's no one to blame. All is in perfect divine right order.
and we are all doing our best according to the understanding, awareness, and knowledge that we have. Our point of power is always in the present moment. We create our future by our thoughts and actions of today. And we can know that no person, no place, and no thing has any power over us. We create all our situations and all our circumstances by our thinking, feeling patterns. And then we usually give away our power by blaming others when things do not go the way we want. Is this true for you? We all have things we believe and ideas about ourselves.
There are lots of things you can do to help you become more conscious of what is going on. And because so many of our belief systems really are unconscious or subconscious, we're not aware of them. They're just things that were bred into us as we were children, is to take a little time to figure out what they are. And I always say a really good exercise is to take a big sheet of paper and write on top of it, say, what I think about men. And then another one, what I think about women, what do I think about money, what do I think about any subject you can think of. And just write all the things that come out of your thoughts. And whether they sound good or not, just write them down. And any one subject, if you just write them all down and then look at them and see how many are positive and how many are negative. And if you can take those negative ones and turn them around, make them into positive affirmations, then you can start clearing up what you believe about, say, money that is not positive for you, and or is keeping you from bringing money in. And you can do that with lots of things in your life, so you can really begin to realize what you do believe about these things. So you can't change your thoughts if you don't know what your thoughts are. There is a law of thinking, and we are beginning to learn about it. And it is like a computer. If you have this gorgeous computer put in front of you, and you don't know what to do with it, it's a piece of junk. But if you learn the language of the computer, miracles happen. And that is what the law of thinking is. When you learn how it works, miracles happen. What you think and what you believe is what will come true for you. Your thoughts create your life. It's that simple. And when we can get that, we can make enormous changes. If you're